I believe this is the year of the self made person. And guess what, guys? Age is not a restriction. I want to introduce you to a very special young man to inspire others to achieve their goals. He's what I call a triple threat. And I can't wait for you to meet Jaiden Too Fast Correa. Let's talk.
Sometimes you just gotta make it happen. Gonna make it happen. Gonna make it happen. Just make it happen. Just make it happen. Just make it happen.
What's up, everybody? Hey, I'm back again. I was away for again. Life got busy, but for the good. I'm out here doing big things to bring more content to you. So had been having a great time just working hard like I usually do to bring back more community stuff. Listen, I've been dying to bring this guest on my show for about 3 or 4 months now. We've been talking about it. And each time, either events, family emergencies, family's importance. And I'm like, hey, you know what? That supersedes everything. But you know what? We made that promise to make that connection, and we did. I can't wait to unleash this young man on you. We're just going to get right to it. His name is Jaiden Too Fast. We call him Too Fast of Correa. And I'm going to read his bio, and then we're going to watch a little clip, and then we're going to get right into the madness, because this is going to be, oh, God. For all you young people that are aspiring to be something, it takes different discipline. So let me just go ahead and read this bio. Jaiden Too Fast was born Jaiden Lee Correa on June 8th, 2006 in Los Angeles, California, but raised in Compton, California. A now 16-year-old boxer with 2 national champions that started training at the age of 3. I'm going to tell you why that's important to me as a trainer, right? Jaiden has been working in and out of recording studios all of his life with the help of his father, Larry, a recording business, which helped develop his musical ability at a very young age. He uses his musical ability to help inspire and motivate his generation, as seen on his musical hit, Go to School, featured on his second album, Going Pro 2, also featured in Apple Music commercials as well. Being multi-talented, with a promising future ahead, he's becoming a deadly threat in music, boxing, and acting. I told you guys on my commercial, he's a triple threat. His work ethic so far surpasses your average young person. That is the truth. With multiple record releases, completing nationally on amateur boxing circuits and acting, he is definitely headed on the fast track to success. He's already successful to me. My joy in watching him train and develop and grow is just ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired of holding back. Cats, are you ready? That's my only audience member right now. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the father Larry and Jaiden Too Fast Correa. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm pretty good. How are you?
Man, I finally got you on the show. Again, my apologies, my brother. We've both been busy. But,
Yeah,
man, this
it's
is
all
like a treat for me because I have a lot of adult guests who inspire. I have a lot hear tragic stories and all kind of stuff, man, which have been great. But never have I seen in such a long time. And I had the pleasure of watching, develop in my gym and talking to your dad, someone so disciplined. And I think kids really need to see what that's all about because, man, and Dad, I'm going to talk to you later because that's something that kids need so bad. They lack the discipline, and seeing in you, man, I see hope. And that's more or less why I have you on the show. But we're gonna hype you up, man. We're going to let them know who Jaiden Too Fast is. In fact, we're going to show them. I got I did a little playlist for you guys. I want you guys to check it out. Oh, poet, we have more. We have more. Let it run. Let it run. Yeah, there was a playlist. It was a playlist. That's okay. We'll show a little more as it goes. Okay, that's okay. Okay, we'll pull up the whole playlist. We'll play a little bit because man, he got hands. He got hands. There's more to that playlist. All right, we got it. We got it. Man, so man, that's just him shadowboxing. But I got footage. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring that up on the playlist of him just really sparring. And I know Dad only plays like a few seconds because you don't want to see all of his arsenal. I get it. I get it.
Right.
I get it. But that's the way it goes. I don't want to show everything, man. This kid's explosive, man. With that said, I want to talk about. We're going to take this segment to talk about the boxing aspect. Boxing. What made you get into boxing? Was it Dad? Is something you saw? Who? What inspired you? Man, I want to hear it because I mean, for a young man, you're very focused. So you had to have had some sort of role model. Can you talk to me about that?
All right, well, how it all started was, my dad, at first, it started off as self-defense. He wanted to teach me self-defense, so I never, got bullied in school and stuff like that. But around the age of, 5 and 6, that's when things really got serious. I started to become better at it, and he saw that I was naturally gifted with speed, so that's how we came up with the name of Jaiden Too Fast, and we just ran with it ever since. So now I'm 16, and I'm about to go pro.
And this was at 3 years old?
3 years old was when I started, and then 5 to 6 years old was when I got my name.
All right, well, I'm going to throw this to Dad. Larry,
Yeah.
when did you see that, wait a minute, this is more than just, me teaching my son a little bip for self-defense. When did you see it then? What was the moment for you?
I seen it at 5. At 3, I started just, at home, making sure that, just teaching them, working them with them on just numbers and fundamentals and things of that nature. But at 5, I started taking them to actually spar, move around. And when I knew I really was working with something, when I seen, talent, is when he was beating up all the kids that was in this age range, 5 and 6. None of the parents wanted their kids to work with them. So the opposing people, the parents and such like that, was no. So he couldn't get any work. So at 5, he was sparring kids at 9, and he was only 5.
Wait. At 5 years old, you were sparring. How did that feel? Did you feel like, now this is with the ego part, because sometimes, did you feel like, yeah, I'm the man, how'd you feel about that?
Back then, I kind of really didn't understand. Like looking back on it now, I kind of understand. But back then, I was I kind of didn't really know as much what was going on. But even back then, I kind of knew yeah, I got it. Especially to see now back then that if I had to work with people that was 4 years older than me just to get some work, it's kind of yeah.
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. Were you a proud dad when you saw that? When you was like, man, this kid's mature?
Yeah.
Because it takes maturity to even work with older people.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. And that's when, for me, as a father, you definitely okay, that light bulb comes on. You know what I mean? And I just knew at that moment we really got to do something, because my plan honestly was never to go to the extreme of where we're at today, but God works in mysterious ways. So it's just I just kind of just nurtured it and kept going with it and feeding it, and before you know it, it just became something that I was like, man, we have to brand this.
Yeah.
And at 5 is the birth of his name. That's where that came, and it's just after that, I just, being business oriented already, I just knew how to progress that and market that, promote that, and build that brand. And that's where we've been at since then.
Now everybody, I nicknamed myself CJ. I thought that was spiritually led feel for me. Okay. Jaiden, Too Fast. Was it a moment where you sparring like a 40-year-old pro, man, I'm just too fast? Where did that come from? Jaiden Too Fast. The moment that you felt. Or even that, you can chime in on this one too, because nicknames are earned.
The moment I saw it was around that age too, because we was at our house in Compton, and I was training on the patio in the back, and my dad, he ended up recording me while I was shadowboxing. And then when I was done, he showed me the video, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, yo, I'm fast. Even back then, I saw it. So that was when I saw it for myself. But even as I gotten older, my speed has increased as well. So. Oh,
I know. Trust me. I'm checking. I'm checking. All right. Let me tell you my experience. The young man came in the gym, and and Henry, his trainer, Henry Chakura, Mr. Fit Dreams, brought this young man in. And it turns out we have people that we know in common.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Henry.
Yeah,
too,
shout
man.
out to Henry, man. I might have a little surprise for you later on the show. With that. But. And I was telling him, I said, man, who's this kid? This kid has a work ethic. I mean, we've seen kids come and go that claim they want to box and it's, you know, but Henry was like, nah, man, this kid is serious. Just watch. So I was taking the time for myself to just kind of watch, train and watch. And I said to myself, man, Henry, how old is he? Oh, he's about 15 at this time. I'm like, 15? Like that? I mean, not just the hands, the maturity, the poise. And I like the fact that he can complete sentences, you know? I managed or helped manage pro boxers at one time that couldn't speak a word. I was like, what's going on? And I was just like thoroughly impressed. And later on, I had a moment to talk to Larry.
Right.
And turned out we had people in common. Antioch Church, shouts out to Antioch, you know, and friends there. Yeah. And just got to talking, we, you know in different circles, man. And I was like, man, dude, you're just a good dude. Now, I know your intentional purpose was for bullying purposes, you know. And I know you talked about, okay, I know the kid had talent, but some people are afraid to put their kids in martial arts or boxing.
Right.
Because they become the bully. I don't see that in Jaiden. In fact, when I tell parents, it's just the opposite. When you learn the skill set, is there a sense, can you back me on that? Is there a sense of humility that comes with it?
Yeah, like sometimes, like he's such a humble young man that sometimes I got to tell him to, you know, he doesn't sometimes want to hurt people, but knowing that he can. And sometimes I have to tell them, like, this is the understanding of this sport is where you could actually do that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're going to try to hurt you if you don't do it to them. You know what I'm saying? So especially if it's a competition, either you or me. And in the world of boxing, you know, I have to tell him sometimes, you got to kind of leave the humbleness and the church and the good and the humanity and all that stuff outside momentary. Right. And then come back to that. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes him being such a good person, raised right, could kind of almost be like a gift and a curse, you know what I mean? So it's like,
I can understand.
I had to kind of develop almost, I don't want to say that killer side of him, but you kind of, in combat, in sport, in boxing, you have to have that type of mentality, you know what I mean?
I get it.
So that's kind of like, where that's at with him.
So I'm going to put this to you, Jaiden. When you, let's say, in the box, you close the door at the gym, you're a beast. You're an animal. And you got the eye of the tiger. You know, I saw your video. You making people just turn around. And that's the worst thing. I had the fortunate ability to do that when I was like my little bit of boxing. That's like, right? And they're like, yeah, I dare you to step back in this ring. I understand that, right? Yeah. Outside, you know, and your dad talked to you about you being a good kid of the faith. When you see trouble coming, are you more humble about it, knowing what you can do to a person? Or what's your thoughts on that?
That's the thing. All right, so when situations like that, I kind of like I'm not scared of it, so I kind of like don't really care what they have to say because I kind of already know, that. You know, what I can do. So like a lot of the times I just kind of like let it slide. I mean, if I were to do something, then it's kind of like it would cause problems for me. But I just kind of like let it go. Like I don't even make a big deal of it because it's like if it were to actually go there, then it's like. You know,
his hands is registered, so
exactly, and that's what I like. That's what I want to like get across. I mean, there's something about athletes that actually have experience with their hands. Like I do jiu-jitsu, I've done MMA, and it's like for me, even at my age, you know, there used to be when I was younger. You know, you looked at me wrong. I couldn't wait to test out my, just test it out. Wow, right? Okay, go ahead. I feel you.
It's crazy because I had those thoughts before. Like sometimes like I'm not a bully or whatever, but sometimes I kind of like I never really had like a school fight or a street fight like that. So like sometimes I'd be like, I wonder like.
Yeah, you wonder. Yeah. You know, I mean, you might have turned down a fight or two, but you go home and like, man, I wonder if I'd have just, what would that be like? Right. You know, and it's okay to have that, but I think the discipline, your level, breeds you self-control.
Yeah.
Does boxing give you also calm outside of the gym? For me, jiu-jitsu does that for me. I'm so cool and chill because I know what I can do, you know?
Yeah, like naturally, like I'm just a relaxed person. I'm not really a person like just like energetic and hyperactive like that. Like like if you were to see me like out in public, like I'm just chilling, bro. Honestly, like I'm just
Nah. When he's outside of his element, dude, he's so calm, and that's the whole package of maturity, and that's why I just watching you from afar, just like, dude, this kid. He's got it all. I've seen the other side. Right. By the way, parents, if you're in fear of doing this, I've never seen a pro athlete. They're the most chill people in the world, because they know what they can do. So it is so important to get your kids football, baseball, but also the arts. It's important because it gives them a level of control because you know what can happen, and also they can know what they do. Now, the business side of boxing. Dad, how are you going to get him through the business side of boxing? Because I see stars. I mean, this guy is going to have belts, you know, and I don't say that about too many people, but it takes work ethic.
Right.
How are you going to navigate that? Because you know how the boxing game is. Boxing has destroyed itself with poor management and this, that, and the other. How do you make that game work for you? Do you go the Roy Jones route, the Floyd Mayweather route, control your own stuff? What are you doing?
Well, that's kind of like, for me, that's not a hard task because I come already from a business aspect as far as like, I got a degree in music engineering also as well. So we do music, and coming from the realm of also music, I know how to self-promote, market from the independent aspect. So, you know, as far as in music, independent is in today's time, you don't really need a major label anymore. You know what I'm saying? You can self-distribute. Give an example right here. We're in the Crenshaw district, right?
Right.
So you guys know about Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah,
one of the prime examples of best independent, being independent, what that looks like. You know what I mean? Making the value so high where they come to you. Well, that's the same type of method we're going to go apply in the actual boxing game. But see, you don't see it too often in the boxing game. But you've seen it in music more often. Mm-hmm. But in boxing, you don't really see it. You might see limited few people that might have done it. Roy Jones, maybe one of the few people right now that's done it is Devin Haney and people like that. But most people, they kind of got to go attach themselves to a promoter. Us, we're not going that way. You know, with my son, because of the background with music and the business that I do, and just being in the industry, because music business promoting is no different than boxing promoting. It's the same aspect. You know, all they care about is how many people can you put in the seats, period. So my son, his following at this point right now is not to be braggadocious in any way, but it's strategic. It's a plan. He has more followers than most average people that already are pro, that have a 5-0, 8-0, 10-0 career. You know, and that's crazy for him to be 16 still in the amateurs with such a higher value than these people that are already professional but can't fill up the seats at the venues. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's strategic for me. So to answer your question, what am I doing? I'm not afraid of the business because I'm not banking on people. I'm banking on myself. So if we create the value right, see this, we self-branded.
Right.
We market and promote ourselves everywhere we go. And that's the value that if we create enough of it, like I gave the Nipsey aspect, they'll come to you. You don't have to come to them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So when you worth something, yeah.
You know, I want to talk about being self-made, guys, on the commercial break. So we're going to go to a quick commercial, and I want to pick up on that.
Okay.
And then we're going to give the number to call, because if you're a young entrepreneur, you know, you've got 3 right here, right now.
Right.
You can ask questions, all right? And you can hit us up even on Facebook if you have questions. It's all good, man. We're going to go to a commercial break, hit up our sponsors. We'll see you in a minute.
In life, we all have opponents to prepare for. But you don't have to be a fighting champion to defeat your current condition. You don't need to be the ultimate anything to tap out the stressors in life. But what if I told you that mastering your physical well-being, like a fighter, directly relates to mastering the obstacles in your daily life? The only challenger that awaits you is yourself. Do you accept your challenge? I'm CJ, and this is CJ's Functional Fitness, where you don't have to be a fighter to feel like one. So let's train.
All right, we're talking about the aspect of dad protecting the son, or manager, them working together. And if you're a young entrepreneur out there, it doesn't matter if it's sports, it doesn't matter if it's music, it doesn't matter if it's business. This is bigger than what they do. They're bigger than what they do, and they have wisdom like collected right here. So, Portis, if you have the number, we can put it up on the screen, and then we'll give the number. And if you want to call in, any questions that you have, we'll put it up. All right, how do you protect? This is the question as the number comes up. How do you protect your version of protecting your son from the vultures? You know, one guy that I'm very fond of is Damon Dash, and he talked about culture vultures, and and a very wise man. You know, what are you following that form of logic? What's your method of protection? Keep that bubble of protection around your son.
I mean, I think they're just keeping the circle small, for one. You know, we know the industry, and we know how political that could be. You know, so the political side of it is being like what you're willing to do to get through certain doors.
Hold that thought. 323. 815-4204. This is some good knowledge coming your way. 323-815-4204 if you want to call in. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No worries.
This is
No
good
worries.
good knowledge. Continue, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we're not willing to do just any and everything, you know what I mean? So certain aspects of certain business and transactions with deals with people, we just not willing to do. So it's more about integrity with us, you know what I'm saying? And being, like men of God, we serve a purpose. And if there's anything that contradicts that situation with us, those situations is kind of like cast it out, So we keep a real small elite circle of people that we choose to work with, and the opportunities are going to come, but we're going to always evaluate them, and if they're honorable, we'll take them. But if they're not, then again, we just keep doing the work that we have to do.
So Jaiden, is it that cohesive when someone comes to you, Jaiden, my name is such and such, I can make you make you famous? You say, you know what? Talk to my manager. Is that the relationship?
Yeah, because I kind of already know, like, to kind of like just trust the process, and like my dad, like he like just outside of he teaches me so much, just to, like, about life, and I kind of already know, like, in life you can't really have a big crowd around you, because then you won't really know who's your real friends and who's your fake friends, and people that just trying to leech off you. So I kind of already know to keep a small circle. Even now, like, just outside of boxing and rapping, I only got like 5, 6, 7 people that I actually call like my real friends. I don't got like this whole big crowd around me like that. So,
that's cool. You don't have an entourage. You're not like Jake
yeah.
Paul and
nah, not like that at all.
Them is the yes man.
Yeah. Oh man, they make me so. I'm sorry. I don't trash Jake Paul. None of those guys. You may end up beating them up one day. But I mean, as far as boxing goes, and you guys are definitely boxing aficionados, and we're about to shout out our sponsors. What do you think about the Jake Logan thing? Or is it saving boxing, or is it destroying?
Yeah,
Tell me your thoughts, Jaiden. He's his
Alright,
own man.
so,
I love it.
Me personally, like, my opinion, I feel like it's disrespectful, because I feel like these are YouTubers who are trying to, come into the world of boxing because of the fact that they just got bored and didn't have anything to do. And I feel like, there's people that, we know personally that I felt like put their life towards, this dream that they had, and for somebody to just come off the couch and get paid millions of dollars and get a belt, it's kind of disrespectful to people that's actually put forth the time and the hard work and dedication to get there.
I want to acknowledge Carlos. He's behind the camera, and he's nodding his head. And we've all been nodding his head. I boxed a little bit, and it makes me sick. Dad, I want. How do you feel about it? I mean, is it helping, or is it turning us into a clown show? Your thoughts?
No, it really truly is, because it kind of like I understand business, right? So I understand the logistics of why they want to come over. I do understand that. Now they do have a following. But unfortunately, it's like what my son said, it's hurting the sport. It's making money for them, but it's hurting the sport, because you got real people, like he said, that invested their life into training. My son got, what you got, about 13 years or 14 years going to training?
13 years, yeah.
13 years of real training. And no disrespect to this man that you're talking about, but he doesn't even have 10 years.
Right.
So, you got somebody that's given their whole life, or the majority of their whole life, and not just Jaiden exactly, but so many others that have really done this. And, it's like you get to skip right to the front of the line, and then you be a big cash cow. When other people, and then, like I said, it's not to criticize them, but I just feel that it's kind of disrespectful to the people that's paid time and homage and gave everything to the sport for you to just come in and kind of do that.
But in these times of social media and quick entertainment and stuff like that, do you guys say, okay, that's just the way it is, we're going to do our thing? Or it's like, hey, we got to come up. I got to be so good where I'm the marquee. What are your thoughts on that? Because social media isn't going anywhere, and the sensation of clownery is not going anywhere either. How are you two going to combat that together?
Well, we're doing that now. That's the point of what I was saying earlier when I made mention as far as the value, having that value. The reason why he's able to do so is because he has such a high value. See what I'm saying? So when you have such a high value, we're just creating a value now for my son, but he could really actually box. See what I'm saying? So we're going to probably be in a league of our own with that, because it's not like we're waiting on nobody to give us the value. We're going to come in with the value, So it's like we won't probably have that problem as far as what other people have to do, but we are creating value now.
All right, I'll say that. I'm going to ask you guys this. So finally, I think I think Jake Paul is finally about to fight who I think is a real boxer, Rodman's son. You know, what are your hopes for that? Will the boxer say enough? I'm going to show. What do you think? So far, I believe this young man's going to go in and, hey, I'm going to show what professional boxing is.
Didn't he pull out?
I didn't hear that yet.
Yeah,
he
pulled
injury?
Out. Yeah, he pulled out. They pulled out. They couldn't make the weight from 215 to 205.
Okay.
They were supposed to have been at 200, and then he was like, "Nah, let's do 205." So then Jake said, "Okay, he'll go up to 205." Then he said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do 215 or nothing." And Jake was like, "Well, I'm not coming up. I already came up 5," so he pulled out.
Okay, all right. Well, it is what it is. So, is that legit, or do you think that's an excuse?
I think a lot of this stuff is to build value, and I think a lot of this stuff. I mean, look, man, we're in this business. I didn't see Floyd. I didn't see people firsthand do some stuff that, like, you know, you'd be like, wow, this is how it really works, right? And it's marketing strategy. Like, these people are intellectually smart when you see what they're doing behind the scenes, and it's like, wow.
So, is for real or a joke? What do you think, Jaiden, on him pulling out? Because I'm let down just hearing this just now. I was excited about this one.
Yeah. I'm not even
the
gonna
pro.
lie. I haven't really, like, I'm not really focused on Jake Paul and them like that.
I love it.
But even so, though, it's kind of like, it is kind of disappointing because I feel like, and I don't want to sound like a hater, but I feel like I wanted to see him finally, like, put in his place.
Hey, let's be honest. I did too. You know, and I see Carlos nodding his head. Yeah, let's show boxing what true. I like what Floyd Mayweather did with Conor McGregor. You know, and a lot of people say Conor did a good job. I understand boxing. I'm sorry, Conor, don't beat me up later. Conor did not do a good job. Floyd carried that and took care of business when he wanted to. You guys boxed. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
He took him into the deep waters where he knew he wouldn't be good at.
And
he let him
exposed
go
him.
there. Yeah, he let him go there.
Amazing. So I always bring the truth up in here. I bring the truth. I gotta give my sponsors some shout out, guys. Oh, this is exciting, and I definitely want to go into the hip hop game, man. I mean, because that's another element to your game. And maybe when we come out of sponsorship, man, maybe we can throw another couple of seconds of him. Cool. All right. So first, shouts out to my friend Yelita Carter, Mutual Realty Consultants. Man, when you need a certified probate trust real estate specialist, just call Yelita Carter. 213-804-3369. We are doing some stuff right now that I'm just amazed at her. You can call her. She'll send you her magazines. This lady is just in the business. And right now, with the market turning a little bit, you know, I say, hey, can I just trust you? She said, CJ, you can trust me. I'm 5-star. So you definitely want to hit up Yelita Carter, Mutual Realty Consultants. I still promote this page, the Black Health Trust, every Sunday. The Black Health Trust, they have speak on all health issues related to the diverse community, because sometimes we may not trust, you know, other sources. So the Black Health Trust, they talk from everything, COVID, STIs, everything, and you're hearing it from us. These doctors are from all over the state, all over the country, and I've had a couple of these doctors on my show, and I had the pleasure of being a guest on there, and it's the truth, all right? You want to find out the truth? Boom, Black Health Trust on Sundays. Google it, it's there. All right. Braids and things. Now, this is one of the hottest braiding companies on IG right now. And unfortunately, in my biased opinion, it's my daughter. She's killing the game right now. It's fun going to different places. Hey, is your daughter braids and things? Like, oh, she's the bomb. I can dig it. Support her IG braids and things with a Z. Birthday shout outs. All right. Got to give it up to my daughter, Zaire Joseph, on turning 18. Man, I'm very proud of you, a future kinesiologist or whatever she wants to do. You know, they pulled out all the stops, kidnapped her yesterday and took her out. You know, you still got to be home at a certain time. Yes, I don't care if you're 18 or not. And then big shouts out to my nephew and also artist Xavier Joseph. Man, he had his R&B night. It was his own production, you know, kind of like what you guys are doing. And he just killed it, man. This guy's amazing. I'm so proud of you, Zay. R&B night was fabulous. Yeah, there he is doing his thing. You know, he was running this thing up in Hollywood, and it was just blowing up. And it's nice to just have family just doing big things. Very proud of you, young man. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right. We're back. And man, Poach, if you got a couple of clips, man, of him just like making people, you know. Yeah, that's the speed. Yes. That's the speed we're talking about. All right. Yep. So that's what we're talking about. If you got more, pull them up, man, as we're talking. But now we're going to get into the game of hip hop. I want to play a little video, 1 minute clip. I wish we could play the whole thing, but we got like an hour show, and then we might have a little surprise calling in, phone in from Zoom. Go ahead and play that track, man. I can't wait for you guys to unleash it.
I'm the best, better know that. In the ring, all up on the stage, better know that. Taking over at a young age, better know that. You done let the beast about the cage, better know that. Yeah, man, I'm all about your league. You fresh up off the couch, out of shape, feeling fatigued. Y'all on slow-mo and I'm going super speed. I'm just willing to put in the work, that's why I succeed. Top soldier of my league. Hard work, man, I stay with a beast on the track. Almost sound like Dr. Dre did it. Yeah, killing tracks is what I do. Me and G are rolling deep again with the crew. Boy, you know we think of these pieces together like glue. Have to tear up the track, little homie, what it do? Killing tracks is what I do. Me and the homie G are sick tighter than super glue. I thought you knew, better know that. Only boxing rapper in my lane, and you know I run the game, yeah. Better know that. Making money off my own lane. In the ring, in the track, I do my thing, yeah.
Man, dude, you're amazing, bro. You're amazing.
Thank you,
Okay,
thank you.
before we talk about that dream, I have a special guest that wants to come and give a shout out to you. All right,
Okay, sure.
Mr. Henry Chukwur, he's on Zoom. I said, brother, you got to call in. I want you guys, Henry, to tell people about your work ethic from his eyes. All right, we got him on. Mr. Fit Dreams. All right, Henry, you got to unmute, brother. He's been on my show before, Mr. Fit Dreams, our raw food expert.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Oh, what's up, Henry? How you doing, man?
I'm well. How's everybody doing?
All right, I see you
What's
out
up,
there
man?
coasting, right? You're not driving around zooming. Hey,
Car
Henry,
Chronicles.
I wanted to just from your perspective, and I kind of surprised this on him a little bit. You know, this is really all about Jaiden, man. Can you tell me your thoughts, because you're the trainer, and I appreciate watching greatness, and you're great yourself. From your aspect, I know you've trained a lot of youth, you know, and some that stayed disciplined, some that fallen off, but this one is like really disciplined. What are your take on his training method and work ethic? Because that's important for the future.
This young man is driven. He, what I like about Jaiden is that he's always striving to learn and get to the next step, get to the next level in training. He's always kept an open mind to learning all the new techniques, never resisting, and he's a hard worker, very determined to get to that next level.
I've never seen him whine when I was here or cry and complain like many people do. You know, does he whine when I'm not in the studio? I mean, tell me, Henry, or he's just straight up disciplined? Has he got that Mamba mentality, man? You tell me.
No, he's definitely locked in. He's very focused, and no, I never have it's a trainer's dream to have a client like him, because he just comes in, he knows what he wants, and he's willing to work for it.
So it makes it. So I take it makes it very easy to train. He's trainable, coachable, correct?
Very coachable.
Man, and that means the world, man. So Henry, man, can you give a shout out to your IG, you know, for your raw foods real quick? I know you've been on the show before, and I know they remember, man. Hit them up with your IG, man. How to get a hold of you?
Yes, sir. You can reach me at Taste Heaven on IG, and also Euphoric Elixirs at Euphoric Elixirs on IG.
Awesome, man. If you have a young man, a young woman, young athlete, man, this is another one of the top trainers. I don't hang with people that are unexcellent. I only hang with people that are excellent. And I'm so proud to have you as a brother and in my studio, blessing us all with your knowledge. You've definitely helped my family, and I see you helping this young man out, man. Hey, man, thanks for Henry. I appreciate you, man.
Peace.
All right, my man. All right, man. Let's get into this. Let's get into the rap game. Same philosophy in protection. Same philosophy in management. Yeah. When did you get into that? Okay, you boxing at 3, and all of a sudden, you know, you knock somebody out, start flowing. How'd it work?
All right, so I started boxing at 3, and then I started rapping when I was 6. And I got into that because, you know, initially, like, my dad, he's a musician, you know.
Right.
And I was always rolling with him, you know, in the studio. I would be a little baby up in the studio while he's over there recording artists. So when I was 6 years old, you know, I came to him and I was like, yeah, you know, I want to start rapping.
Wait, I'm going to stop you right there. Okay, I'm going to pass this off to you. What did you say when he said, Dad, it's time? I want the mic. What's up?
I mean, he, you know, I just have to be real with him because I know the expectations of what I pull out of all my artists. You know what I'm saying? I'm very hard and very disciplined. So to see my son come to me, I'm not gonna cut you no slack.
Yeah.
You gonna have to do it the way it's supposed to be, or we just gonna, you know what I mean?
He's smiling. Can you tell me some tough moments? Like he wasn't dad no more. He was like, "Is this Joe Jackson? What's going on?"
I definitely experienced those moments, especially the first album. The first album for me was the toughest. I didn't know anything. Like, although I would, see, I like experiencing it for myself was just like something new, and I didn't understand. So there was some tough moments up in the studio. But from the first album to the second album, it was a whole lot easier. From the second to the third, got even easier, and then from this fourth album, I just
took over.
Yeah, completely took over. Like, almost, I think every song on my fourth album is something that I've written, and I think he probably helped me like with a couple of songs for like a couple verses and bars, but other than that, that was all me, bro.
When did you trust him with that level of? At what point, you said, "Man, this kid's got it."
Like I think as a father, I think you could attest to this too with your daughters and your children, but with everything in life, not just music or boxing, I think we do things just to hold their hand for a certain point in time. And as they progress and they mature, we supposed to let go. You know what I'm saying? So his musical influence by the third album, by the time he got to Heart of a Champion, he was already doing probably, I say 40%, 30% of the work of the writing, because he already had enough experience from the first Going Pro album and the Going Pro 2 album that he already understood the formula, the cadence, the structure, 16s, 8-bar hooks. He understood the formula of music. So by the time the third album came over, I'm like, okay, he got really more involved. By the time the fourth album, this one right here, the One of One project, he just completely wrote everything. He took over. I think the only record that I helped him probably compose was just something a little different, was his outro record. He did 100 bars. So that record, he had never done nothing that magnitude. 100 bars is a lot of verses, a lot of bars. Yeah. So to put that in perspective, but I had already that experience. He didn't. So that's probably like one of the only ones that I but even still, he wrote it. I just helped him format it.
Man, I want to ask you, the first time you ever just performed live, were you just like ready, or was there, what was that like for both of you guys?
Okay, my first performance, I don't think my dad was there. It was actually my mom. My mom took me because it was at this daycare that I used to go to.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
It was the one you did at Antioch in front of pasture.
You sure it was? I thought it was the one.
You was 7 because you performed at I Don't Want No Dallas. Remember? He performed. You remember the congregation at Antioch was big, right?
Yes.
So I think it was like 4,000 people up in there, and we had a record that he specifically done on his first album, catered to the church. Yeah. And that record was the first time that he started actually performing. And it was so many people at the actual church that day. So yeah, that was one of the main. But it was a big. But he took that thing like it was nothing.
Wow. What does that rush mean to you? What does that feel like? Is it addictive? Like, once you just knock it out the park. I mean, how did that feel, bro?
It definitely is. I know for me, cause as an artist, I feel like you feed off of the crowd's energy, and it's just when you're receiving the energy and people is digging your music, it's like I can't really describe the feeling, yeah. But once you feel it, and it's just amazing, man. Yeah.
And you as a father watching that, it's right. Do you ever lose your management hat and go, "That's my son doing that"? What is that like?
Sometimes, man, to this very day, I got my moments, but some certain moments and certain things that he does, I be at all. He surprises me, he blows me away, even to the point where I'm like, not just like my son, I'm like, damn, that dude is talented.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's gifted. And it's crazy because sometimes he does it in both realms. He'll do it. I seen him perform in front of 20,000. What was the one you did at the convention center? it was
like 15,000.
15,000. Yeah, I seen him perform and hold it down, and you know what I mean. He was performing in front of all these greats. I'm talking about major greats. You know what I mean, the headliners, and he's the only youngster up there performing.
Wow.
And he hold it down and killed the show, and everybody's just But then it's like I seen him take over where, in the boxing world, he'll take over. He'll do some stuff that I just be like, wow, it's just amazing. Sometimes he just blows me away. It's not every moment, but I see it quite often. Like, wow, from the music and even the actual lives.
Well, since we're talking about entrepreneurship, there are ups and downs.
Mm-hmm,
so let's talk about the downs. I mean, I've had certain events where people are chanting CJ's name, and then I've gone out and they're like, y'all don't even know who I am. I was just here, like, Have you ever had those moments and be like, that didn't go so great? What do you do after that? How do you go back to the factory? Boxing or hip hop? Tell me, these young minds want to know. Failure is good.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a couple times where we have to, go back and hit the drawing board. But I know, like in the music, I know sometimes like I'll be high. I'll be mad. I'm not gonna lie. Like if there's a show, and like I said, I feed off of the energy that's given to me. So if I feel the crowd is dead, then it's like, what am I supposed to like go off of? You feel me? And so there will be times where I hit up shows and I'll be like, yo, like, and it's not that my performance was just absolutely trash, but I feel like
just that, and I feel like sometimes audiences come in and be like, oh God, they're already down, and then you got to be the one. Like, I'll share one. I got called to the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza. They said, CJ, this radio station's like, hey man, you're hot, man. We want you to go down to, and then we want you to lead a full, what do you call it? A flash mob, whatever, I get there, there's only one person in the flash mob. That was me. And man, listen, and I'm sharing my dirty laundry. And I was sitting there, I was like, you know what? I can't, I'll do it for one, I'll do it for 10,000.
Right.
So I started doing my routine, the CJ workout thing. A couple of old ladies came up, one in a wheelchair. And I said, all right, I did it. Now, to me, that was work integrity. It was called follow through. Have you ever had those moments?
Oh, yeah, like definitely, like, keep pushing. Yeah, even when the crowd is not like the way you want it, at the end of the day, I feel like you still got a job to do.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of like keep going no matter what. And I had a show recently where it was like that. The crowd was kind of dead, and no energy. But it's like I still kind of like I can't just stop mid set and be like, oh, man, I'm gonna go home.
Get out of here.
Yeah, nah, like I still got to keep going to the end. So
I do believe that you follow through because other people are watching you.
True.
You never know. And my thing is, I follow through because you never know. And I got another gig that day. It's like, no, I know you're CJ, man. I want you to meet me. And it worked out. And I was like, but I almost left out of there like, dude, am I done? That's a sucky feeling. You go from energy, everybody screaming, to like, man, they don't even know who you are. That's a weird feeling, But you can recover from that, guys. Guys, you can recover. So failure is not an option. Actually, if you're not failing, I mean, you guys could vouch for me, you're not succeeding, right? Right. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Right. We're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're going to talk about your influences in boxing and hip hop. We may even have another little boxing clip, but I definitely want to talk about that because influence is everything. Yeah. Right? Yeah, all right. The only thing is, it can't be your dad. He's not in the equation yet. All right. Navigating through the Valleys of Success. The book is still out. Check it out, guys.
I tried to be secular about this book, but I can't. Something's working within me.
DJ was already an incredible person, and then he wrote a book.
I turned to God as a person that stopped believing. So you will meet me there, and if not, you will see the works that help me get there.
If you want to know how to change and learn how to change from the inside out, you read this book.
Money is a real thing. It's a part of it. But what I show in the book, and I'm telling my young people out there, I'm walking you through business. This is a real business lecture 101. It's not the green that's going to keep you sustained. It's your influence. How well do you impart influence and love in people? How do I make you rich by a conversation we've had?
It's going to help you no matter what situation, no matter what trials or tribulations you're going through. It's going to give you that ammo that you need.
Watch God grow inside of me. Watch him show me why this went wrong to get to right. To him to say, you know what, God? I needed the tragedy too. I needed to feel loss. I needed to feel grief. I needed to feel let down. And thank God you've got me where I'm at in my marriage, with my kids, with my family, so I can see the blessings and I can tell somebody else how all those things I went through in the past got me where I'm at today.
You can get through anything if you just keep the faith and walk through that valley and don't give up. Don't turn back, don't look back, just keep looking forward, and the goal is right there. You just have to keep pushing for it.
Keep your brains in your head, keep your heart in your chest, and keep your pee-pee in your pants. And that's it.
That's great advice.
This will stay in your hearts for the rest of your life, and it will conquer the demons that lie in your mind.
Boom. All right, there it is. Still out. I wrote this in 2017. It's still inspiring. You can get it on Amazon, cleonjoseph.com, navigatingsuccess.net. It's meant to inspire. Speaking of inspiring, we're going to talk about inspiration. But I do have a couple of questions. One is kind of funny. Dad, did you trademark your son's name?
You know what, man? We
talking business.
That's exactly, yeah. We already in the midst of that situation. We had a conversation with our team because that's one of the main people that, like, the main things that people do wrong. They start the business, right? And then they don't necessarily take care of always the first step, which should be the business aspect of making sure you're incorporated or trademark and everything like that. So we didn't want to have no complications with building all this and then being able to get stripped from it.
Yeah, man, do that as soon as you can. I did that with books, titles, everything, man. So, yeah, you guys are on the right to. The second question is funny, too. How does your mom feel about you boxing? She's scared.
Oh, nah. At this day and age, nah. When I was younger, though, yeah, it was a problem. She would kind of, like, my dad and her would kind of get in arguments, over, things like that. Because she thought, oh, I was a kid. I wasn't, supposed to be doing this and that. And so that, but that was when I was younger. Now, if it's something wrong, she'll even
press
yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, she behind it.
So
yeah.
full support.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So and that's what we need, because you know what, you're wise, but you're a man beyond your years. Don't let 16 fool you. It seems like you know what you want, and no one should stop you.
Right.
And I would say my dad was like that at a young age. He had it in his mind. He had detractors,
right,
and he kept going. And that's what inspired me. Speaking of inspiration, we were talking on a break, and you were saying that's what we're here to do, inspire. Man, right. What does that mean from both of you guys? And I'll start with Dad.
For me, it just meant more. I originally wanted to just kind of do something with my life, you know what I'm saying, outside of just the regular, just being from LA and being a statistic, so it became where I started having children, and I wanted my son to, all my children actually, but him being my first, basically my boy, and I ended up wanting to give him a life and the opportunity that I never received. So I just wanted to serve the purpose of being a father, a real father, you know what I'm saying, doing right. And as time went on, I didn't know that I was influencing by just me projecting, putting my son out, building his name, the value that I told you about earlier. I didn't know that I was touching people, reaching people, inspiring people, till people from all around the world start reaching out, from the UK to New York, all around the world. People, like his following, start reaching out. And they start letting me know, like in DMs, that, I'm the reason that they're a better father to their children, or, they're a better father to their daughter or their sons and things of that nature. So it became a purpose of where I felt I started to do God's work without really realizing it. I was just trying to do work my family.
That hit me hard, yeah.
And it was true. And then that's when it just, I became awoke. I was like, wow, I'm really serving the purpose of God, not even real. I was just trying to do the honorable thing as a father in the Bible, doing what I'm supposed to do for my family.
Yeah.
Not realizing that I was impacting all these other people. That while I was doing the value, I was gaining, but I was also inspiring other people, not even realizing.
Jaiden, do you feel the responsibility of impact and inspiration for others? Do you feel that? I mean, because you've been doing this since 3 now, so you had to have picked that up to a degree.
Right.
What do you feel like you're a role model to others? What is your thought? I don't want to coach you into that. I want your honest feedback on that.
I mean, I feel like my work definitely does inspire a lot of people. But I kind of I do the work. Like I feel like I do what I love, and by me doing what I love is what inspires other people. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't want to. I don't know how I should say this.
For me, I mean, this is me, my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You walking your own path is the thing.
Yeah.
I think of Jack Johnson. You know, when people like my dad, famous wrestling coach I used to train with, Antonio McKee. No matter what obstacles, they did whatever they wanted to do. I don't care if I fail. I don't care if I succeed. I know what I want to do. I'm going to get out there and go get it. Do you feel that? And nothing's stopping me. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you see that in him, Dad?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I
man.
definitely do.
So it's more than just, when I see you guys together, I don't see you like force feeding.
Nah.
I see it easy. I'm like, man, because I've seen some, I guess, dads and kid relationship. Oh, man, throw the jab. Oh, God. Oh, I've seen them. Or the worst thing at the gym is when a trainer's training the trainee,
right.
Dad's jumping in and it's like, you guys come in and you just sit back and just support. And it's just a trust thing. If you don't trust him, you just wouldn't be with him, right?
Yeah,
You wouldn't be at that boxing studio, So closing out, can you put Jaiden's information up there? Because I want to make sure everybody can contact him for hip hop, boxing, whatever boxing events. We want to keep you loaded. So how can they get a hold of you, Jaiden, Mr. Too Fast?
For sure. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube at Jaiden Too Fast. That's JAIDEN 2 and the word fast. You can also get my new album, One of One, on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all that. You feel me?
Oh, check it out.
Yes,
Okay. They said they had a gift for CJ. I want to hold it up here. I hope you guys can see it. This is going on my wall at my gym. So when you're holding those belts, I can say this young man walked across my studio. And I got a couple of champions in there already, man. I just don't have the photo. Look at this kid. This kid is ripped, sliced, ready to go.
Shout out to Henry for that work right there. He done
Mr.
that.
Fitch and Henry, my boy, man, dude. Like I said, I only roll with the best. Only the best train in my gym. That's why I don't have too many trainers, because you got to meet a certain standard. Henry, you meet that standard, and it's a group effort, man. And I'm just like, I'm honored to have you grace my studio. I love watching your work ethic. Now, speaking of inspiration, and I know it's hard. Now, both of you, because this is not just a Jaiden show. I mean, this is all a team effort.
Right.
Can you close out with something for people that have dreams at your age, and then people that have dreams at your age as to how to succeed in life? Your definition of that, it can be long or short. I don't care. I just think you're living that path. It should be easy. All right. I'm gonna start with the man.
All right, for sure. I feel like people, who are out there and want to follow their dreams, like, don't let nobody stop you. I feel like there's always going to be somebody that, comes along your road and going to try to, say something to you or kind of like pull you down. But like, you kind of like got to block all that out, because at the end of the day, like, you only got one chance at life, and you either got two options. You either take the risk, and take the chance, or you either let that pass you by. And, I would just say take the risk, because at the end of the day, you never know how far you could have gotten in life if you didn't take that chance. So, always stick to your dreams, listen to your heart, always make the right decisions, and, always put in that hard work to get what you want.
I love it. My favorite part is take the risk. It's when you don't. It's when you're like, man, you're headed for the graveyard with nothing.
Regret.
Think of all these people in
Nothing but regret. Yeah.
Pops, man, I want you to put it down, man. Your inspirational quote, sir. I want to hear from you, man. You're just as important on the show.
Yeah, I just want to let people know that life is what you make of it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't necessarily mean it because you started off wrong, that you can't always end right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And coming from the urban area where we come from, it's not always pretty for us. But doesn't mean that you can't change the dynamics of your life as life goes on through living life. And for your children, for those fathers out there and those mothers out there, or parents out there, whoever, the sky's the limit to what we could go ahead and achieve with our children if you just nurture that dream, follow that dream, water that. You know what I'm saying? Push them, man, and don't give up on them. Is it gonna be easy? Nah, it's not. Me and my son, he didn't told you about those battles in the gym.
Yep.
He didn't tell you about the battles in the studio recording. But it's not the easiest thing, but at the end of the day, the only people that I ever knew in life that made it to be somebody is the people that never stopped doing what they were doing. So for those that are watching out there, parents especially, give your kids a purpose, give them an opportunity, give them a shot, because if not, the streets will.
Mm-hmm. The next time you see the three of us, we'll all be on a higher platform. He'll be holding a couple of belts, and I'll be live with millions watching, and we're going to rehash this conversation to say we told you so. This is the Blueprint Man. God bless you guys. This is Mentorship Moments. Each one teach one. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I want to thank you, Jaiden. Man, you are the man. I'm proud of you, sir.
Thank
Pop,
you.
Larry,
Thank you.
proud of you.
Appreciate
Carlos,
you for having us.
Proud of you, sir. God is good, isn't he?
Amen.
I'm going to see y'all in 2 weeks.
All right.
It happened.